From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. We're talking about Marvel's and Disney Plus's Hawkeye series. Jeremy Renner, Ashley Seinfeld. Well, let's get right into it with our little panel.
We were talking
here.
about Hogwarts Legacy today.
I wish. I wish. But I don't want to get canceled by the internet.
Why would we get canceled by the internet?
That's a long story for another podcast.
That's a very long story that we probably shouldn't bring up here. But as you can see, everybody on your screen, what's going on, James, Megan? How are you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing great. We just came from Rogers, the musical. Could really do this all day.
I actually...
That's what the musical is called. You could do this all day.
No, it's called Rogers. And No Way Home, there, Spider-Man flings by the sign, it says Rogers, the musical.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Shut up, James.
Which, I kind of want the full version of that, like the full musical. I would actually sit through it, and they should put it on Disney+.
I agree. Disney, chop chop.
We gotta talk to fight. Hi, little one. Hello. So adorable.
We got invaded by a child.
The cutest Avenger right there.
All right. Well,
Strongest Avenger.
I'm adding a question to the list of questions. What did you guys think of the musical?
Again, we need the full version on Disney+. Done.
Yeah. Even if we
Good.
don't get the full version,
Everyone agrees.
even if we don't get the full version, I at least need it on Spotify or on YouTube, and I'll just play it nonstop as I'm doing the truck load.
But we also see that that Hawkeye has something a little different about him.
He finally has a hearing aid.
Yeah, he got his. He actually has the hearing aid now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what happens when an alien tyrant blows up the compound you're in and you go flying into the wall.
Doesn't he have that in the comics, too?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I remember reading that, or was I just reading something about the show? But, yeah, I really like the musical, and Disney, get on that. Like, if you're watching, which I doubt, anybody important at Disney, Nerds Do Nerd Things podcast, give us some free shit, or just, let me hop a plane and go there. Whatever floats your boat. We're here to help.
Listen. Can we just live on your property forever? We'll just record our podcast live from Magic Kingdom. It's Nerds Doing Nerd Things.
Well, what was it? A Full House episode where they're in Epcot and the doing a radio thing from the living sea.
Oh, something like that. There were multiple Disney episodes of Full House. One where they went to California and one when they went to World.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the actual Hawkeye episode, not the musical. What'd you guys think of the overall plot of the episode where, I'm trying to think of her name, Kate Bishop, because, you guys didn't say it enough, James, earlier. What'd you guys think of her, involvement with the Ronin costume, wanting to be Hawkeye, and then the involvement of Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye and fighting bad guys and the overall story of it. James?
Oh, I loved it because, once again, I guess we're seeing from a young age, she already was just like, dude, look at the Avengers fighting in New York. And the one that caught her attention had to be Hawkeye.
Jake, would you throw this bag in the garage?
Because it's like, why be the demigod, the man in the iron suit, the soldier that's out of time? You can be the archer, the badass archer who has no powers whatsoever. I didn't forget about Black Widow. We're just not talking about it at this moment because that's kind of a sore subject for him. But from there on, you could just tell she had this mindset of, if she's going to be a badass, she wants to be a badass. Like, who else? Hawkeye. Like we saw it. Like what was it when they showed her at the college being
Yep.
reckless?
Yep. Exactly. Megan, what about you? Which hell of a shot.
So I agree with James, but like I think the plot was really good because it kind of obviously it shows Kate Bishop's journey and how she's always done archery and stuff like that, and then it also is kind of showing uh like Hawkeye training
We'll go
his-
after Megan.
his predecessor, and him sort of passing on the torch, if you will, to the next generation. And obviously he sees something in her to teach her his ways and stuff. So
He was very reluctant at first, though.
I
yes,
mean,
was
when
yes,
you
he
go
very-
through
was very
75% of the show actively refusing to teach her, I feel like not fully the case. Because he doesn't start actually teaching her until like the second to last episode.
But I think it's more because of he didn't want to teach her because of he knew the risks and that come with it, and he obviously didn't want her to get hurt or anything to happen to her.
Well,
Because like he would
he's
feel
always
terrible.
been like that. When he hits some adversity, he's like, it's only me. Especially after Natasha dies, it's only me. I'm dealing with this, and I don't want anybody else to get hurt because of something that I'm involved in.
Because at the end of the day, am I correct on this? He never really saw himself as a hero.
No. Look at his Ronin character. Jesus.
Yeah. So it's understandable why him being so reluctant.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So, let's get to our next El Questione. What are your thoughts of the whole Kate Bishop character overall? Do you think Haley Steinfeld did a good job as Kate Bishop? We'll actually start with you here.
I would say so. Don't really know the Kate Bishop character in like the comics or in any other like source to really like compare, if I'm being completely honest here. But I mean, I think she did a good job.
Do you want to see more of her?
Well, I mean, we're going to.
But do you... It doesn't matter if we're going to. Do you want to? Are you involved in the actual character, and will you go not out of your way, but will you watch more stuff she's in?
Want to see? Yes. Involved with the character? Not really.
Okay.
We didn't get enough. We didn't get enough for it to be a valid thing for me.
Megan?
So I like Kate Bishop. I think that her character throughout the movie was like very, very stubborn and headstrong. So it was like no matter what Hawkeye said, she was still gonna do her own thing and what she wanted and what she felt was necessary to help, because that's just the kind of person she is. She's a very caring kind of person. I think that the actress was a good fit for the role, and she did the role very well. And I would like to see her again. I mean, I'm like somewhat invested in seeing more of her because, like Will said, we didn't really get a good taste of it, but I feel like there's more to the character, that we have yet to see, so I would want to see more.
Yeah.
Hey, Megan.
Oh.
Hey, Megan.
What?
It's a show, not a movie.
Not if you.
You called it a movie.
I mean,
the show.
she probably binged watched the living hell out of it. So
Listen, she's given Kate Bishop even less time on the screen by calling it a movie. Like, damn.
James, what about you?
Oh,
Who, me?
yes, you.
Yes.
So I really think that Kate Bishop here, actress, really webbed this role in. There's a reason why I said that joke, because it took me a moment to realize that was the voice of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Yes. And she was also in Bumblebee,
Yeah, she was in Bumblebee.
which that was another good movie.
I haven't seen it.
I reviewed the Transformers movies after the second one.
It's completely different.
That's fair. So
No, you're
I was
fair.
invested with. Yes, I was invested with the character because I used to read a lot of comics where she would just pop in and say some really witty, stupid stuff, and have the Avenger cast are just like, "Why are you here?" And she's like, "I can't go back home. I lost my keys again." So I'm used to her character kind of just being very there. That makes any literal sense.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to kind of see the character, in a way, see her origin, even though I know it's different from the past, but kind of seeing her just be out there doing stuff. It was kind of, I think that was a bigger thing with her, was I was kind of invested from there. I do want to see more going down the line, especially with the whole Tag and Avengers take the spotlight.
Yeah, I really want to see her do more, because I think with what we're seeing with Hawkeye is he's going to be more of a leader role coming up. Maybe, if we're talking he's going to be okay and everything. Because Jeremy Renner recently just had an accident. If you didn't know, go look it up. But, I think she would be a good step in for him with what we saw. She's talented. I would like to see a little bit more of her before we really christen her new Hawkeye. But I really liked what I saw. But we're gonna go and talk about Echo now. And if you don't remember who Echo is, Echo's the one that I wouldn't call her a villain, even though she's kind of a villain.
Kingpin's goddaughter, or adopted daughter.
Yeah, she's that, but she's also has a very good storyline throughout the show, and you see it culminate with her saying, "You guys are dicks," pretty much. But Will, what are your thoughts on the Echo character? Because it looks like we're getting a series of her.
Yes, we are getting a whole Echo dedicated series, which I think is gosh damn cool. However, I think Echo's fine. I feel like, unfortunately, she is kind of in that situation where she does kind of take away from the story.
You think it's too much?
I think it's too much throwing Yelena in there, plus Echo, plus
I could see that.
Hawkeye, plus Kate Bishop, plus the storyline with the, with the dad and stuff like that. I think they just tried to force too many storylines in one 6-episode show.
And I honestly would jump on the same boat with that. I would have rathered of just seen her in a standalone thing herself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
James, Megan, did you guys answer about Echo?
No, but so I was really kind of excited to see her, only to the fact of I knew they said at one point they were talking about they were going to add her, but they just didn't know when was the right time. So I guess they figured now was the best time to do it. Also, with that same matter of fact of trying to humanize Kingpin a little bit, because I don't know if
humanize Vincent D'Onofrio.
we kind of have to humanize him because I don't know that many kids that are still not traumatized by watching Kingpin decapitate a guy's head by slamming a door repeatedly in a Netflix series.
And this
So,
this is confirmed to be the same Kingpin.
Yep. So it was kind of like, so I get it. Like they tried to show, I guess, 2 generations, like where we have Kingpin, who's been like, I've been doing this for a long time. This is my adopted daughter. I love her. If anything were to ever happen to me, I want her to, touch her. Blah blah. Kingpin stuff. Which I agree with Will. I do feel like her subplot kind of got a little overshadowed halfway through because it's like I didn't know when she was coming in half the time, and then the other time you didn't know she was technically be a villain or a hero, but then it kind of showed that she was more hero bound than being a villain. But I will say that kudos to actually have a character who has sign language in it finally. Like that's a big thing. So they kind of I feel like they were trying to open the door to possibly a moment of breakdown where her and Hawkeye are talking, and we get to see him actually, do some sign language with her and kind of.
He did a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Megan?
I like the character, but I like that they brought her in, but I kind of agree, along the lines of everyone. I think that they tried to do too much at one time. So, everything kind of got clouded, so it took away from the real story. I mean, I can see why they brought her in, but I think it would have helped, like you guys said, if they had just, did a separate thing just on her.
Yeah.
And then, and then kind of... So then we would have had the background on everything, and then it probably would have made a little more sense.
Or at the very least, just have added another episode and made that episode Echo-based. I think that could have been enough.
Yeah, that probably would have worked. But let's go and talk about Yelena Belova. James,
and her love for Kate.
Stop smiling, because I got something for this. Did you like how they brought her in on how Madam Hydra, which we already know who's Madam Hydra, do you like how she kind of put Yelena against Hawkeye, or would you have rather seen it some way else? And did you overall like her being included in this series? Honestly, we'll start with James here because he looks really happy to talk about it.
You made everybody's favorite sriracha eating macaroni loving assassin.
Honestly, it tastes pretty good.
Oh no, it does. It's
throw some bacon in there too.
Right?
Bacon.
So I think me and you talked about it a while back. I was like, we knew that we were going to see her eventually have kind of a beef with Hawkeye because it's going to be, oh, hey, did you know that he killed your sister? You might want to go after him.
Wait, how does she even know? That's the one loophole in all of this that I don't understand. Is how does she know?
Well, how does she know about the whole thing?
How does she know what?
About her sister dying. Easy. One person. Scott. Because the podcast. He talked about it all.
I forgot about that.
She also heard it from
Madam Hydra.
Yeah. She also heard it from Val because in what was it? Was it the
How does Val know?
Hydra knows. Simple as that. We'll put it that way. Hydra.
Because as far as we know in the story wise, no one had talked about how the stones were obtained. So only they know exactly, only the Avengers know exactly what happened. All they know is that Nat died in trying to save everything.
They probably have their way, but I'm going to throw a lot of heat at Scott because, little man, big podcast, and him telling everything and then making a book about it. I'm going to throw it at Scott.
Like Ant-Man, Scott?
Yeah,
Oh.
he wrote a whole book about it.
Oh.
Dumbass.
Didn't Val say that they got the book and that's how they found out was from Scott's book
Wouldn't fucking surprise me.
or something like that? I thought. I can't remember.
Wouldn't surprise me. But actually, her into the story, I was.
I'm going in the hole.
I feel.
Are you
like
looking it up?
Yep.
Well, Megan, why don't you talk about Yelena, and did you like her getting brought into this story?
No, go.
No, you finish what you were saying.
Well, we were going to finish with what James said once Will
Oh, okay.
found what he found.
So I liked how they brought Yelena in, but at the same time, her beef was with Hawkeye, and I feel like this show, yes, it was Hawkeye, but I feel like it was based more around Kate Bishop. So I feel like there could have been a different way for her to just, have her beef with Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
I get where they were going with it and the concept, and I liked how she just kept showing up everywhere, like kind of like a Big Brother moment. Big Brother's watching you, except it's Yelena's watching you. Because she was everywhere.
Yeah. Will, what have you found?
And so far from what I've read, technically there is no actual way Val should have known.
Interesting. Well, for anybody...
But I'm still reading.
Well, I'm going to use this as a disclaimer here. If Will doesn't find anything, for all the people watching in the YouTube verse, let us know in the comments section what you guys think. But I liked her being in there. Granted, I still thought it was a little too crowded, but it's not like she took over way too much. She literally had a couple confrontations and a fight with Hawkeye. That was basically it. But Dunzo.
We'll say though, whatever scene she was in, she definitely did shine. So I'll give her that. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Florence Pugh.
Okay.
She's gonna shine all over the place.
Do you always say my name just so you can let me know that you know it? Yes.
To macaroni and cheese.
All right, so Will, while you're looking that up, let's jump to the nexus of questions. Which villain was your favorite? Why? And did you want to see them more in something in the future? Megan? Fooled you, James.
No, actually, I was thinking about my answer because I'm like, my answer technically is going to happen, so.
A good question. Oh boy.
Well, mine honestly was Kate Bishop's mother, because that came out of left freaking field, and once we saw her start to piece, and then piece, and then piece, and I'm like, oh god, she's working with the freaking Kingpin. She's working with Law and Order Criminal Intent.
I can agree with you on that, AJ. That I can absolutely agree, because that did come out of left field. It's like, wait, what?
Because I don't want to say Yelena, because I could see where she's coming from. Echo, she was kind of led a little bit of astray. And then Kingpin was literally there for about a cup of coffee, and that was it. So I'm going to have to go with the puppet master here and have it be Kate Bishop's mother. All right, Megan, now you. Unless you're just going to say exactly what AJ just said and then throw it to James.
I agree with you, AJ. I would have to say mine is that too, because like you said, it completely came out of left field, and it's like, you don't realize it until the scene where she's standing in front of Kingpin, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, where she gets the photo and everything and the text message.
Miss? Yeah, we're like, wait, what the heck did we just miss? Like,
What in the fuck?
like how did we not know this? How does Kate not know this?
Because love is blinding, and she loves her mother.
Well, obviously her mother kept it from her for a reason, because she knew, I'm assuming, she knew the consequences of it, and obviously she cares about her daughter deeply.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really think that's a conversation starter. Just, hey, just
But, like, it was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. James, now you?
For me, because I was just happy to see Kingpin show up and, just be Kingpin and take a card to the face like it was nothing. And an arrow. I'll be honest with you, I was happy. Actually, tragically, if you really want to know my favorite villains, it was the Tracksuit Mafia. The guys are going, bro.
I thought they were more funny as hell. I wasn't gonna call them villains.
No, they are villains, and they are technically Kate Bishop villains. So what I actually loved the most about that was I laughed as soon as we appeared on the screen. I'm like, oh, it's the villain, but it's not B tier villains or C tier villains. They're F tier villains. They try, but they fail hard. I'm just happy to see them. I hope we see them in more things. I hope we see them in Echo and they get their ass beat, and they realize, because they were around her for a bit. They know, oh, she's they have the sign language, so they're literally telling her, hey, don't hit me, bro. And like I get a good laugh out of that, because every word they say ends with bro.
Will, what about you, since you've been doing all the research and looking up shit?
Yeah, the mom's the real villain.
Yeah. Playing with the puppet strings.
However, yeah, technically, according to this, according to everything I have read, yeah, there is actually no way that she should have known. Basically, the thing that people are saying is that information was, she just kind of twisted information to twist the information, because she could.
I mean, that would fit her character, to be honest with you.
Basically, in her head, she made it up.
But happened to be
But
spot on.
it was actually technically true.
Man, don't you love that when you fib and it ends up being true, and you're like, son of a bitch, I should do this more often.
The only other theory that kind of exists is that technically the Russo brothers did confirm that Red Skull was able to leave after the stone was destroyed.
Oh, well, what happens when it was brought back? Then he can't leave.
Because it still ends up getting destroyed, it causes a mumbo jumbo.
Oh. It causes some bullshit.
He technically, in the regular timeline, at the point they were at, he could have left, and he could be back with Hydra.
Okay. Well, before we go any further with our last couple questions, that beautiful artwork that you see on your screen. Hey, James, wait for the fans. He made it.
Hi, fans.
That guy made it. Go look for all his shit on his Instagram, which he'll give you at the end, don't you worry.
Is it the coveted that guy? Hell yeah.
It's that guy! It's like freaking Monsters, Inc. laugh floor all over again. So
Actually, hold on. Will, can we just do what my theory said? Because I'm not going to lie, comic books, information is really confusing. And I just want to blame Scott.
just blame Scott Lang. Just blame Scott. I'm okay with it. It happened.
I also book too, so.
So let's talk about your favorite fight in the movie. Mine is honestly, granted it's kind of stupid, but very short. It's Hawkeye and Yelena.
What is it, AJ? What is it? A movie?
Oh, would you stop?
No! I will correct you fuckers every time!
I binged the whole thing, so yes, it was a 6-hour movie.
That's not a movie, that's a thesis!
Yo, if Disney made a marathon mode for like the Marvel shows, you have a movie. That'd be kind of cool.
But fine, for the show, it had to be Hawkeye and Yelena just for the fact of you see the realization on her face go from so hostile to now being able to grieve properly for her sister. James, why are you smiling?
Because you just made me think of my favorite fight. That's why.
Okay, well, what's your favorite fight, mother?
All right. So technically, my fight's not really a fight. It was more of a scene of transactions. It was Kate and Elena, pretty much from the whole entire party and an elevator. It
The
was
elevator, yeah.
so because we talked about how like you're talking about your favorite fight, and for me, the part that made me love that so much more and actually break out laughing, it was when Kate did the little, pull her around and she goes, well, what was that, Kate Bishop? And she goes, did you just do that? And she's like, yeah. She goes, that was really good. And she's like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Then, did you smack me? And it was just that awkward pause. It made me laugh. I was like, moments like that, I was like, where you still showed up, yeah, I'm Hawkeye student. And it's like, okay, so show me your Hawkeye student without telling me you're Hawkeye student.
I have a bow. Megan, what about you?
I would probably have to say the fight with what is it? Is it all of them with the jumpsuit mafia?
Yes.
It was Hawkeye and Kate.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say it was the one with the Hawkeye, Kate, and the jumpsuit mafia.
Or where she goes and tries to save him, and then ends up getting caught herself.
It was freaking hilarious.
Damn it, Robin! I mean, Kate Bishop.
It was like nobody could do for themselves. They were waiting for cues from everybody else. Like, just fight.
That's why I love them. They're not bad villains. They're just terrible villains. They'll get their route someday, but not even in the comics. They're still doing shit.
So they're the comedic villains.
Yes. They're Team Skull.
Will, what was your favorite fight while your Discord is blowing up?
I'm being Team Skull right now. Elevator, 100% elevator.
Yeah, that was a close second for me, just because of how snappy comeback and how funny it was. But let's get to your favorite overall character now. Will, we're gonna start with you. Who is it and why?
Get better.
Why?
Because she's better than Hawkeye. Sorry, Hawkeye fans, you know I'm right.
Have fun with the snowplow.
Kate Bishop, because she's better than Hawkeye. I mean, he's not wrong.
No, at least she knows how to shoot her shot.
The younger Avenger is technically more better than the older Avenger.
Megan, what about you? Favorite character?
Oh boy.
Before James says the Tracksuit Mafia.
Oh, that was
James says the Tracksuit Mafia, I'm disowning him.
Poor choice of words. Megan?
I probably have to say it's kind of a toss-up between Kate and Hawkeye, because I think they both had a lot of growth within the show. I think Hawkeye had the most growth within the show. Obviously, realizing that
he ain't the shit no more.
He ain't the shit no more, and that he can't do this forever. So it's like,
yeah, you can't fucking watch him.
Torch on at some point.
I mean, even Batman retires.
And she was showing, that she could do it.
Also, too, he learned that he should have had marketing for himself as a hero.
Well, yeah, that too.
James, your favorite Favorite character?
My favorite character. Oh my god. What the fuck was the mother's boyfriend's name there? Slow Jams looking motherfucker.
Oh,
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
yeah, I can't remember his name either, but like he was.
Did you just call him Zorro?
No.
I mean, he
so-
fought like Zorro. And
So
I'm not
for
talking about the
anyone-
three-sworded Zorro.
For anyone that knows the character in general, you'll understand why I say this. The reason why he was my favorite character is because he literally is probably one of the most shittiest characters ever. And just to see him showing up like, hey, guy. Huh? Yeah, Jack. We're just going to call him Jack Dupas.
Duquesne or something.
Yeah,
Jack
Jack
Duquesne.
Jack Croissant, or whatever his last name is.
Di Crusanti.
So it was just really funny to see him, especially during the final fight where everybody's fighting, and then I don't know, he's like, ha, I'll help you guys out. And I'm like, what are you doing with a sword? He goes, did you not know I know how to use a sword? And everyone's like, no. And then Hawkeye just gave that look of, everybody has a fucking gimmick. What the fuck? Like, I don't get it anymore.
It's like watching wrestling.
It's the running joke that was in Civil War 2 when Falcon saw Black Panther and he goes, oh, everyone has a gimmick.
Yeah, my favorite character, honestly, is Pizza. The dog.
Lucky.
I told you.
But no, I'm actually going to go with Kate Bishop here because I really think we are just going to start to see a lot more of her. I'm hoping with a Young Avengers kind of show or movie. So here's the hoping on that. But yeah, that is our Hawkeye episode, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Will, where can people find you?
Getting ready for tomorrow, bitches.
What you doing tomorrow?
Watching Nintendo Direct.
What are you expecting out of the Nintendo Direct?
I have no fucking clue.
DLC for Pokemon?
No. Anybody who thinks we'll get Pokemon news tomorrow is dumb.
I was just throwing it out there. I didn't actually know.
February is Pokemon Day. They'll never do Pokemon stuff as part of a Nintendo Direct in February. We may get an announcement of a Pokemon Direct, but
Aha, Pokemon will be there maybe. Aha, then I was right, not stupid. Megan,
no.
where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook, Instagram, next to this guy,
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
and maybe with you guys sometimes.
It's a Susie.
Mostly with this guy.
Hi, Susie.
I walked down because I thought it was over.
No.
I mean, both credit
I
scene.
heard him going on and on and on about the direct, so I...
All right, James, where can people find you and your awesome ass artwork?
You can find me on Instagram, JFairArt. You can find me probably posting on Facebook when people actually answer my comment section, trying to fill in. And on TikTok.
God, you do a lot on TikTok, and it's
Yeah.
usually always hilarious.
Oh yeah, this TikTok.
Yeah, I was like Tristan Duma or just Tribe for short right there.
You can find me on his TikTok.
That's right. You guys are doing some fun stuff over there, so go check that out, and let's send it over to Mr. Wob Pulfin.
Hey, you guys, this is 625 here from Lilo and Stitch. Some people think of me as AJ Coppola. I don't care. Just follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch at NDTA Jalistar15, and Xbox and PSN at AJ All-Star 15. I should have said AJ All-Star, but I'm a sandwich maker. What the hell do I know? Do yourself a favor. Go get yourself a hot fudge marshmallow tuna fish and ham sandwich. All right? Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
All right, everybody, that is our Hawkeye episode. We'll see you next week, which I think we're going to be starting our Disney stuff next week.
No.
No? I'm a week early?
Wrong. You're like 2 weeks early.
Oh, God. Well, it's running across our screen right now.
We start the Disney stuff when we come back from Philly.
All right, so on the 14th, we're talking the Page Master. which I don't even know what the heck that is, so I'm gonna have to find out where to watch that. I feel like that was a Susie thing.
How do you not know the Page Master?
He doesn't know the never-ending story either.
Atreyu!
Okay, you don't even know.
Thor!
You don't get to think that way.
All right, bye everybody, because I feel like I'm gonna get beaten with a sack of oranges now.
Bye, everyone.
Well, maybe some apples.
Ow, those hurt more.
That's why I said apples.
You mean?
They're
She's abusive.
I mean,
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.